start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Boy, Dave, you some really, I don't know if we'd call this disturbing news, but as Buffalo Bills fans, disturbing news, I think. I don't know if you saw the big story. I mean, it's not a big story yet, but they're saying it could be, and there's a hint towards it. You know anything of what I'm talking about? As you look in there. No clue. Let me ask you, did you hear this story?
No. Don't say it's a major injury to somebody.
Not yet. No. That comes later, probably. But the story is that Dion Dawkins from the Buffalo Bills. Brace yourself for this. Throwing some hints around this week that someone is coming back to the Buffalo Bills.
Who could that be?
Hints abound regarding Stefon Diggs.
Oh, no. I don't want him.
Returning to the Buffalo Bills.
No.
That's interesting. When you said coming back, it was the only thing I could think of with a wide receiver.
Well, listen.
And what other wide receivers worth having have they actually had?
Right.
Right.
And I think that Diggs has always kind of had a feel for Josh Allen, and even though it all kind of ended the way it ended, but this is a different Josh Allen now. This is not Josh Allen of submission. I'm the young quarterback. I'm learning from Stefon Diggs, and I'm going to sit there as Stefon Diggs walks into my face and starts pointing towards my head and yelling, "Think, use your head, think." This is a more confident and in control Josh Allen. So I wonder. However, what's been going on? Where has he been? Where is he now? He's not in New England anymore. He's done.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent. Oh yeah. Here's the story. If the Instagram account of Dion Dawkins is to be believed, it could be in the cards that Stefon Diggs is coming to Buffalo. It was media day for the Bills in full uniform. Many players taped hype videos and that will be used during the upcoming season on social media. The Jumbotron inside New Highmark Stadium was rolling. On Dawkins' post-showing of his videos for Media Day, one of the first comments came from none other than Stefon Diggs' official Instagram account. The response from Dawkins is what has lit everybody up here. And it was a clapping emoji from Dawkins, or from Stefon Diggs. And then Diggity, or Diggy is what they call him. Dude, Diggity. Remember that song? Hey, Diggy, it's time, brother. And that's what started this whole thing. So some are believing that is to mean that Stefon Diggs is coming back to Buffalo. Do we want the drama? I
mean, this is the problem I've always had with Odell Beckham Jr. He's obviously extremely talented, but all the drama that comes with it.
Well,
throwing fits on the sidelines if he...
I do have to say, when he played in New England, it was all of a sudden a new Stefon Diggs. He was rallying the troops. He was encouraging everybody, running up and down the sidelines, cheering him on. And then it started out pretty hot. He started out hot, and then it kind of went a little south. And clearly they felt like, is he worth Is he worth all the drama? So there you go. That's your early Buffalo Bills news. What does it make you feel, Davey? How do you feel about that?
In a way, I want him back, and in a way, I don't want the headache in the locker room. But we got DJ Moore from Carolina, so
well, at least you know what you're getting.
Yes,
with Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, but if he doesn't score a touchdown, and maybe new offensive coordinator and head coach Joe Brady will put in more plays than McDermott did with Josh Allen.
Well, we'll see, right? We will see. And word is tonight, NBA game number 4, right? Tonight in the NBA Finals. Looks like ticket prices have dropped by 70% for tonight's game. Now, the ticket prices were unbelievable. I mean, tickets on the court were going for, in some cases, for a pair of tickets, we're going for $100,000.
Yeah.
So 70% drop in ticket prices. You figure it out. It's not all that good, to be honest. But they're down
again. They hadn't hosted a finals game in over 53 years. So
yeah, that was a big deal.
And you have all the celebrities
the
in New York City, and it's a supply and demand situation. I mean, they wouldn't. First of all, I think it's important to remember that's on the secondary market, right? So it's not like the Knicks are charging $100,000 for courtside seats. But
Correct.
once those get resold, it's a supply and demand situation. And if I'm offering $60,000 for a ticket or for 2 tickets, but Bill's offering $80,000, and Davey's offering $100,000, then it's $100,000.
There you go. And then one more. It looks like, according to authorities. I don't. Did you have this in the news? The body found near the Erie Canal, believed to be the missing man from Rome, according to authorities. Troopers responded to Wood Creek Road in the town of Verona around 2 p.m. after a caller reported finding a body near Lock 22. Troopers believe the body, sadly, is the body of a 50-year-old Patrick J. Iannotti, according to New York State Police. So that is the latest that we have on that. I don't know if you've been following any of this Ebola situation. It's quite interesting when you talk about the administration. The administration is blaming blaming Biden, and others are blaming the administration on a slow response. Who's in the right? I don't know how much longer you can blame Biden, though. I do kind of wonder. Same thing for that screwworm situation. The administration is blaming Biden, and when Trump came into office in February, they reversed the stop order on beef coming in from Mexico, and now that is here in the United States. So who knows? What is the latest on this Ebola thing? It is spreading. It might be the worst case of Ebola, at the very least, in a very long time. Jonathan Savage is with Fox News Radio on the line right now with an update. Jonathan, what do we know?
Yeah, so the latest is that there are nearly 600 confirmed cases. They're testing lots of other potential cases.
Goodness.
At least 115 deaths. This is based in the eastern area of the Democratic Republic of Congo and spread into neighboring Uganda, where there are 19 cases and 2 deaths. One of the problems with the location for this is that this is a conflict-ridden part of the world. Armed violence is complicated efforts to trace infections. People often have to get on the move very quickly, hard to isolate people there. We're even hearing reports of health workers being attacked at treatment centers. Some local communities are concerned, don't want them there. It's hard to reach remote populations too. In total, it's thought maybe 500,000 people have been potentially exposed since the outbreak began. So the health officials are playing catch-up.
And this is so contagious, and it is in such a difficult part of the world to contain it, right?
It is very hard to contain it. There are other reasons to be concerned. Unlike previous Ebola outbreaks, this strain has no approved vaccine and no specifically approved treatment. Now, there are various companies working on a vaccine. That's going to take months before they can even get it in trials. So authorities are just relying on contact tracing isolating infected patients, screening people at borders, and public education campaigns. Now, the global risk is low, but locally it's very hard to contain.
All right, we keep an eye on it, and as you say, very hard to contain. Jonathan Savage, as always, thank you so much. We appreciate the update.
Thank you.
Jonathan Savage from Fox News. One more that I thought was pretty interesting for today. It went into effect yesterday, the new law. If you're running a television, and it might even be a radio commercial too, but if you're running an advertisement in New York State and you're using anything created by AI, and they're calling it synthetic content.
Okay.
Is what it's being called now.
Okay.
Synthetic content. If you're running anything synthetic, there must be a disclaimer on the ad. Otherwise, you're technically breaking New York State law. So
what's the penalty for that?
Our
fine?
death.
Yeah,
I think they're going to kill you. If you recall our Real Men Get Tested commercial, now the face of Kathy Hochul. This is where we brought in Kathy Hochul, me and Tim Reed, and she was in the 3-shot, but that was clearly not synthetic. That was Photoshop. So her voice was kind of moving, and it was to be made very obvious that it wasn't real.
Okay.
However, her voice was generated through AI. So we would have had. I think we did long before we had to. We put this. This is created by artificial intelligence. Nonetheless, it's now the law. Pretty wild. Manaski with an update. 6:35 now. Another hot one. A real humid one on the way.
Good morning, Bill. Cloudy skies, 66 degrees. It is 6:35. Maine Democratic Senate candidate Graham Plattner advancing to the general election. The former U.S. Marine defeated Governor Janet Mills and David Costello in Tuesday's primary. Plattner will face Republican incumbent Senator Susan Collins in the November midterms. U.S. bases in the Middle East have come under Iranian attack in response to earlier U.S. strikes on Iran. U.S. Central Command announced those strikes Tuesday in retaliation for the downing of an Apache helicopter over the Strait of Hormuz. Now there are reports of Iranian attacks on sites in Jordan, Bahrain, and Kuwait. President Trump will sign an immigration enforcement funding measure this morning. The bill was approved in a House vote on Tuesday. It will fund ICE and Border Patrol through the end of Trump's term. The bill includes $38 billion for ICE and $26 billion for Border Patrol. Texas teen Carmelo Anthony is getting 35 years in prison for murder. A jury on Tuesday found now 19-year-old Anthony guilty of stabbing and killing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf during a confrontation at a high school track meet in Frisco last year. Anthony will have to serve at least half that sentence before he would be eligible for parole. The NBA Finals are back tonight. The Spurs hope to even the best-of-7 series at 2 games apiece when they square off against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Security measures will go back to normal, and I guess the outdoor watch party can resume as President Trump will not be in attendance for Game 4. And New York is the first state in the nation to mandate that ads disclose if they use AI-generated actors. Bill, you were just talking about this.
Yes.
Governor Kathy Hochul's first in the nation AI regulations are getting a thumbs up from SAG-AFTRA, the union that represents actors, saying it creates some much-needed guardrails.
I have to say, I know you will maybe be surprised by this, but I think it's a good move. There should be a disclaimer saying whether something is real or not real, especially because you can use AI in a very nefarious way. In a political commercial, you could have your candidate having like a Nazi tattoo or saying something about rape victims. Asked for it. Oh, I'm sorry. That was all real. That's the Plattner guy in Maine. A real class act.
Oh, man.
Sorry, that wasn't AI. Back to you, Jeff.
Yes, so we are looking at another hot one today. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
It is going to be warm and humid on this Wednesday with periods of showers and storms from this morning to the afternoon as the high hits 87 degrees. More rain tonight with a low in the upper 60s. We're not done tomorrow. There will be showers and thunderstorms moving through with a high of 88 and another round of showers and storms for Friday with a high near 90. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 66 degrees at 6:38.
Are you in that situation where it gets to be around, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're just dragging, and you've had another cup of coffee, and it's, there he goes. Manaski's going to the coffee right now. Mm-hmm. And is it going to do the trick? But it doesn't seem to do the trick. There may be a new answer out there as we celebrate today National Iced Tea Day. There may be an answer. This might be perfect for you in the summertime. Coming up, hold tight, 6:39 at WIBX.
Meet Anthony Constantino, running to represent us in Congress.
First off, you, I see through your game.
Wannabe rapper, wannabe Republican. But he can't rap his way out of reality. He's a lifelong Democrat who helped fund Trump's impeachment. After the George Floyd riots, he called our cops racist and sold Kill the Police stickers. He claims he's America first, but he shipped jobs overseas, even replaced workers with robots. Anthony Constantino, worse than a wannabe. He's a fraud.
And I know just how this ends.
The real conservative in the race? Robert Smullen, a Marine colonel. He fought for our country. Smullen was appointed by President Trump and will fight for the America First agenda. He's the Republican conservative and law enforcement endorsed candidate. On June 23rd, vote Robert Smullen for Congress. Proven patriot, ready to serve.
I'm Robert Smullen, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Robert Smullen for Congress.
Mattress Express, upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, is giving away prepaid Visa cards up to $1,000 on select king and queen sets, and we beat any locally advertised price on a mattress we carry. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Hello, Oneida and Herkimer County Republicans. I'm Charles Potter, your candidate for the 118th Assembly District. I would be honored to earn your support on June 23rd. With 14 years of dedicated service as a county supervisor and the only candidate endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party, experience matters. Please vote for Charles Potter on June 23rd. Early voting starts on June 13th. Paid for by Friends of Charles Potter.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
A couple of mentions here, portions of the program brought to you by New York Sash. And with Father's Day coming up in just a couple of weeks, it's a few weeks away yet. Right now, you could get the best Father's Day gift, and that is home improvement with New York Sash. But you could walk away by just going into their Idea and Design Center on Oriskany Boulevard. Just schedule an improvement project or basically a consultation about an improvement project because there's no purchase necessary. They'll give you a free Ring video doorbell. No purchase necessary. Just stop in, talk with the team, and you'll get a free Ring video doorbell, which could serve as a great Father's Day gift, along with improving your windows, your doors, a bathroom model. The list goes on. Skip the necktie this Father's Day. Think about a Ring doorbell. absolutely free from New York Sash just by stopping in and talking about one of their projects. 349 Oriskany Boulevard, Whitesboro. You can go online at newyorksash.com. And yeah.
I want to go back to this AI stuff. So it's only for, is it television ads?
I don't know the answer to that.
It says New York's the first state in the nation to mandate that ads disclose if they use
ads. And if you use synthetic content is the way I read it. That would be video or audio.
It's just I'm wondering because I've seen some ads like on Facebook, YouTube, what's the other one? Instagram, where and not to pick on one company, but essentially they're all, is it Temu or Timu?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this guy will have this power washer and he's like,
oh my God, can we just give up on the power washer things?
Well,
it's total BS. I see them on YouTube left and right.
Right. And it looks like you could have like the worst, grimiest, whatever, vehicle, house, driveway, and they just come with one swipe with the power wash, and it's all brand new concrete again.
The government
right?
doesn't want you to know this. They don't want you to know about this, and soon they're going to take it away if you don't buy it right now. But this power wand, you will not need a pressure washer with this power wand. Just your regular hose.
Yes.
Currently, the United States Navy used it to wipe out the Iranian Navy in just one swipe.
Yes.
The Navy was gone. Now, the government doesn't want you to know about this. I don't know if I mentioned that. So, buy now. Get it now. And if you buy now for just $39.95, we'll give you a free wand. Absolutely free.
It's the secret contractors have been using for decades.
They've been using it for decades. No need for. Meanwhile, it is. I watched a video that compares, and there are two videos that I keep seeing on YouTube. It's the power wand, and then I watch a video that compares. Does it really work? Does it really wipe stuff off like the grime and rust and algae that's been there for years? And it does clean. There's no doubt about it. It does it, but it's no different than if you were to use any of like the small hole nozzles on a hose. And a lot of it depends on the pressure you have on your hose in your water in your home to begin with.
Okay.
So and then the guy that's like, are you 50 years old and you're exercising? No need. You can look like my dad. That commercial where the guy looks like he's.
Just start this military calisthenics routine on Monday.
Yes, we're starting Monday. We're going to begin Monday, but you must pay $99.95, and you will look like this guy. So, really, it would be nice. It would be really nice, but
my point being, a lot of times with the AI, you can tell. I can tell because I see enough of let's say President Trump or somebody who's in the limelight a lot. You can see that, that's probably not real. But with when they use actors and stuff, or they're using representations of AI representations of people that you don't see every day.
Yes.
It's harder to detect that in these videos where they're washing down a driveway or they're doing military calisthenics. And I think I've almost fallen victim to it a couple of times going, look, I got to get that product.
Yes.
Because look how easy it is. Look how easy it is.
Yeah, and you want to see how good it is. I mean, I have one of the wands, and it is better than using.
Oh, you fell for
it. Not necessarily, but it's better than using one of your hose. Better than using your hose.
Your hose.
It is better than pulling out the pressure washer. However, for those tough stains, and if you want to cut someone's toe off, you're going to need the motorized pressure washer to cut your toe off. Mike this morning says, you are correct. You know what you're getting with Stefan Diggs. And but you know what you're getting. And he's pretty good at catching passes that are just, he's one of those where you just lob it up in the area and he finds a way to bring it down. And that's kind of what Josh Allen needs, right? No worry about your Real Men Get Tested commercial. I'm sure you're grandfathered in on the AI law. And the next time you do an ad, just say this ad used AI and no animals were injured in its creation. That's a whole thing, because that's something where you could using AI a benefit. You could use an animal without putting the animal through the stress and trauma of being used in a commercial.
Right.
So there are ways that this can be used in a positive way. It's not all negative, really. How about this? Speaking of AI, here is a real positive. I feel like I want to come up with a negative and a positive every day for AI. I've given you the negative. Now here's the positive.
Okay.
A police department in Washington State is deploying new technology that will be attached like a body camera to police officers, and it will allow them to speak English. And if the person is Spanish, it will translate instantly in real time. Now, we've seen this technology with the Apple AirBuds, or earbuds, they call them, right?
Yeah.
Their little headphones. They will that'll translate. It will translate. Like, you could watch a TV program. My wife was doing it the other night. Watch a program that's in another language, and it translates in real time, not delayed, in real time. And this does that for police. So if a police officer is coming upon someone who is a Spanish speaker or somebody who speaks, who knows? I mean, in the Utica area, think about it. How many languages do we have? 40 some odd languages? This will do 50. It's in Washington State.
So I have to ask.
Can I give you an example, and then you can? Let me give you an example, and then you can ask.
Can you ask me that in French, though, please?
Oui. Here we go. Here is this is an example from English to Spanish. What do you think? I mean, it's hard to hear. Only the dogs can hear it.
I'm still
All right, what's your
struggling
question?
to comprehend.
What's your question?
Well, is it really AI? Because I know you mentioned specifically Apple.
It's definitely AI.
But
they're using artificial intelligence to be able to do the translation, and it's done so quickly. We never had technology that could do this in real time before.
I don't know. They've advertised headphones that translate different languages right into your ear as someone's speaking, and if it's been for I think a couple of years now.
Well, and maybe that's AI. I don't know the answer to that, but I do know this is new technology for police officers. And let's try it again. This is English to Spanish.
Let's see if I can comprende this time.
Yeah, it's just not working. It's not working because my system's not working. I don't know why.
All right. Well, if it's not working, we blame the AI then, right?
I guess.
You're not so smart after all.
But it's a pretty. I mean, the system does work, even though my computer is not, or I am not translating properly into this system. I unplug it, plug it back in. It's still not working. Okay. FIFA is banning the use of, and I don't even know what these are. Vuvuzelas or vuvuzelas.
I don't know what that is.
Vuvuzeles, and FIFA has banned them at the World Cup.
Are those Volvos sold in Venezuela?
Okay, here it is. They're long plastic horns.
Oh.
And they're being banned because they are excessively loud and excessively annoying. In fact, the belief is that they could be so bad and so loud that it could cause damage to someone's hearing.
Okay.
So those are being banned. Do you know that if you're looking for, and I heard this on the Fox FIFA update, if you're looking for a really good bet that you're probably not going to win but would pay really well, the odds of the United States winning the World Cup are 55-1.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That would be a really good.
So they are a major long shot.
55-1.
Who's the favorite? Do you have that?
I do not know, but it's one of those countries. those countries that
don't use those
that are really good at soccer. So there you go. 55-1. That could be a pretty good bet if somebody wanted to make that bet. On the line right now is Sheriff Rob Mashel calling in. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
I heard your conversation a few minutes ago about the translation. I caught the tail end of it.
So this is in Washington State. These are translators that are put on the body of the officers, and it automatically in real time translates the conversation.
That is correct. So our body cameras that we use at the sheriff's office, they are the manufacturer is Axon. That's the one that's pretty much law enforcement agencies across the country are using. We will soon be getting a feature activated that will give us real-time translation. Obviously here in our county, specifically in Utica, there's over 40 different languages spoken. I believe Axon at our last presentation when they were with us, I think they have like in the high 30s the number of languages that their system can translate. So basically, there's a function on the body camera which, if someone is speaking to you in a different language, it will take that, it will translate back for you, and then you answer the body camera in English, and it will in turn translate your conversation back to the person you're talking with, which is an incredible tool, and really, really excited to. I don't know when we're going to get it. It's soon, though. It's imminent. Just really excited that this will be a great feature. Not only out on the streets, but also inside the correctional facility at the same time.
So it is literally it's audio, but it's built into your body cameras.
That is correct. Obviously, it's the system, and it's AI, but it is it's an exciting thing. I mean, I said, there's many times where whether it's a police officer, deputy sheriff, trooper, you're going to come across someone here in this community, and you won't be able to speak their language. And typically, we have to call either for a translator or dial up on the telephone a translator service that we have a contract with. That's used a lot in the jail. But again, there's a significant delay. This is real time. You on a traffic stop or out in the community, if you're assisting someone with something, you will literally be able to have a real time, and obviously there's a few seconds in between to give it time to translate, but it's almost instantaneous. It's incredible. I saw the demo and it blew my mind. So.
Well, that is especially if an officer is trying to de-escalate a situation, the frustration is so great when you can't communicate, and
exactly
it leads to confusion on both sides.
Exactly. And like I said, it does have its limitations. Certainly you wouldn't want to be like in a living room when the TV's playing loud, because obviously you're going to confuse the system. But like I said, one-on-one, I saw the demo myself. I wouldn't believe it unless I saw it, and I saw it in person.
Wow.
And it was just incredible stuff.
So you don't know when we'll be getting them here, but they are coming.
They are coming. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very cool. I was in about a year and a half ago, we were in an emergency room in New York City where you can imagine the languages spoken. And they had it was like a device that they used, but it was all written. And I guess that kind of makes sense because you're in a busy emergency room. You really don't want everybody's voice going off. It's already going off. But and that was, I don't believe that was in real time. So this seems to be better than that, allowing these people to communicate, which is a big deal.
And the other feature, and we're very little hesitant on this one just yet because it is so new and it's obviously got to be tested through the court system. But the body cam conversations that you're having with someone, you can actually utilize, and very few agencies are doing it right now, only because we've got to, number one, test it for accuracy, but also it's going to be tested in court. But you can actually, there's a function where you'd be able to utilize your body cam conversations to actually write your report for you.
Okay.
So you wouldn't even have to write your incident report or your investigation report. The problem is when they're trying to figure out the way through the court system, because obviously when you testify in court, that's your report. Well, it's really not. It was generated by AI.
Interesting.
So that's something that's coming. That's certainly not like the translation feature, but it does exist. It is being tested in a couple counties in New York State, and we're just kind of sitting back on that one because I'm very reluctant on that one, only because of the testimony and the evidentiary issues that would come up with that.
Very interesting. Sheriff, we appreciate it. Thank you. And it just makes life a little bit better for everybody, I think. So, good stuff.
Exactly. Technology is incredible. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.
You do the same.
Right.
Thank you, Sheriff. Yeah, it's incredible unless it's wrong. I mean, can you imagine an interaction with somebody and it was mistranslating and
I think that's why they're not using
copper.
That's why they're not using that technology.
What did you just say to me?
This is who? This is Sal. This is not Sal. Who is this? Hello. You're an anonymous person with a concern. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got a complaint about yesterday's game at Utica Little League.
You're complaining about yesterday's game. What's the complaint?
Well, there was a call at first base about a pulled foot.
A pulled foot.
Oh, listen, yesterday, so it was the championship game.
Were you umping this game?
I was umping this game.
Oh, no.
It was the championship game for Utica Little League. And
was Samantha there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, her team won.
Okay.
Her team, she is head coached by Rocco Giaruzzi, and they were
How do
playing.
you guys go about making that decision, though? I don't understand.
Oh, Sal, stop.
Were there complaints?
Maybe you need AI as an umpire when Jeff Nansky does games.
I like that. Like AI with a body cam, that sort of thing. I like it.
Congratulations to, I guess that was the Parkway Drugs team. The Padula Roofing team obviously came up short, but they had a tremendous year. They have a very good team. They had some very good players. It was a good game. Of course, at the end of the game, right, nobody wants to lose. So
yeah. So they contested your call.
I think it got a little emotional for the players. But it was an excellent game. I want to congratulate them. And good luck and
ticking time.
Who teaches those mechanics classes? Barbaro?
Thank you, Sal, or Tina, or Joe.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Graham's their guy. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
It is an honor, and I will not let you down.
Maine Democrats look past personal scandals and nominate first-time candidate Graham Plattner as their Senate candidate to face Republican Susan Collins in November.
He won a primary pretty comfortably with 72% of the vote, and this will set up what's likely to be an expensive race heading into the general election. Plattner supporters still saw him as the best choice despite the controversy surrounding his alleged treatment of women and a tattoo resembling a Nazi symbol that he's since covered up.
Fox's Madeline Rivera. House Republican Nancy Mace finishes fifth in the South Carolina governor primary, then endorses Alan Wilson in the runoff against Trump-backed Pamela Yvette. Nevada Democrats nominate State Attorney General Aaron Ford to take on Republican Governor Joe Lombardo in November. First-term House Republican Julie Fedorchak wins her primary challenge in North Dakota. After a week of ballot counting, Republican Steve Hilton is the second-place finisher in the top two California governor's primary. He'll face first-place winner Democrat Javier Becerra in the general election.
You're going to be able to choose. Do you want another 4 years, more of the same costs and incompetence and corruption from the people who've been in charge, or do you want something new?
Hilton on Fox News at night. It's the biggest flare-up in fighting since the U.S.-Iran ceasefire was declared 2 months ago.
U.S. Central Command says Air Force and Navy fighter jets targeted Iranian air defense, ground control stations and radar sites. The strike's a response to an Army Apache helicopter being brought down by an Iranian drone off the coast of Oman. Both crew members were rescued. Iran says it retaliated by launching projectiles towards U.S. bases, one in Bahrain, the other in Jordan. Kuwait's army said it was also intercepting an attack.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The House has approved Senate passed immigration and border funding. America's listening to Fox News.
We're living through a monetary crime scene, and your IRA or 401k is a key victim. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. In 1971, gold was $35 an ounce. After the dollar was cut loose from it, inflation soared. And in just 9 years, gold hit $850. People who diversified into precious metals survived and thrived. Today, we're in a worse position because we face inflation and massive debt. Fortunately, gold is still an option. My trusted friends at Birch Gold Group can help you own gold inside your retirement account. Plus, you pay 0 penalties on the transfer. Start now by getting a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. We're facing the same monetary chaos as the 70s with significantly more debt. Get your free info kit from Birch Gold. Just text SHELTER to the number 989898.
Trump administration is promoting AI innovation for kids.
Students ranging from elementary school to high school were awarded championships in the first ever Presidential Artificial Intelligence Challenge.
You saw AI's potential and created ideas that will shape America's future.
First Lady Melania Trump hosted the event here at the White House, urging students not to be reluctant to open new doors. 6 teams were awarded top honors. More than 20,000 students from every U.S. state and territory took part in the inaugural challenge.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Washington would be the 23rd state with a bell-to-bell ban on school cell phone use.
Washington Governor Democrat Bob Ferguson and state school leaders are asking lawmakers to ban student cell phone use during the school day at K-12 public schools statewide, saying teen cell phone use has a negative impact on student attendance, mental health, and ability to learn.
Without phones, research shows students are more engaged socially and academically. And when bans are clear and consistent, both teachers and students report feeling more connected and more engaged.
Most Washington state schools already restrict cell phone use during class time. The new policy initiative would ban students from using their phones during lunch and between classes, with some exemptions.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. The NHL Stanley Cup final between the Vegas Golden Knights and Carolina Hurricanes all tied up.
Vegas entered this contest up 2-1, trying to take a commanding lead before the series shifts back to Carolina. But the Hurricanes made sure that didn't happen.
Now out in front, Stahl! He scores while falling down!
The call on ABC, the captain, Jordan Stahl, flipping his body around for the goal in the third period, his second of the night, as the Canes win it 5-3 to tie the series at 2 games apiece.
Fox's Tony Genualdo. Stock futures are down ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies, 66 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. State police believe that a body found near the Erie Canal is that of a missing man from Rome. Those remains were spotted Sunday near Lock 22, located in a wooded area. In an area off of Wood Creek Road in Verona. Troopers say the body is likely 50-year-old Patrick Iannotti, who was last seen alive over 2 weeks ago. Officials are waiting autopsy results to confirm that and determine cause of death. Meanwhile, a boat ran aground after striking the breakwater at the entrance of the Erie Canal on Oneida Lake. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it happened shortly before noon. Deputies found that 2 people were on board, Richard Ressler and Lavina Yoder, both from Pennsylvania. Neither was injured. The Sheriff's Office also said intoxication was not a factor. It was just that the boat operator was unfamiliar with Oneida Lake's navigation aids. Governor Kathy Hochul announcing her endorsement in the race to represent the 129th Assembly District. Hochul is throwing her support behind fellow Democrat and current Assemblyman Bill Magnarelli. He's being challenged in a primary later this month by Onondaga County lawmaker Mo Brown. Hochul says Magnarelli is a strong advocate for Central New York families, and he's delivered investments for education and transportation. The 129th District covers parts of Syracuse, plus all of Geddes and Van Buren. The head coach at Syracuse University women's basketball is going to be appearing on Capitol Hill today. Felicia Leggett-Jack is one of 7 people invited to speak with lawmakers about the Protect College Sports Act. The measure would put limits in place on athlete pay and allow them to make only one transfer to another school without penalty. Supporters believe it will help return the structure to college sports. Opponents claim it grants unfair power to institutions. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says 2 inmates have been rearrested as a result of an investigation into an altercation at the correctional facility. Now, the victim reported that he was assaulted by 2 other inmates in his cell. As a result of the investigation, Keith Westcott Jr. of Rome and Michael Mullen, also of Rome, now face new charges of assault in the 2nd degree, which is a Class D felony. Both were then returned back to the correctional facility to await arraignment in Cap Court. And the Oneida County Office for the Aging in 50 Forward Mohawk Valley will be hosting 2 awareness and prevention sessions on June 15th, recognizing World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. The events will highlight scams, how to identify them, and what seniors can do if they fall victim to one. The morning session scheduled for 9:30, from 9:30 to noon at the Parkway Recreation Center. The afternoon session will take place from 1:30 to 4 at 6734 State Route 13 in Verona Beach. Educational materials will also be available at each event. Contact the Office for the Aging to register for those upcoming events. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:09. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
It is going to be warm and humid on this Wednesday with periods of showers and storms from this morning to the afternoon as the high hits 87 degrees. More rain tonight with a low in the upper 60s. We're not done tomorrow. There will be showers and thunderstorms moving through with a high of 88 and another round of showers and storms for Friday with a high near 90. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have cloudy skies at 67 degrees at 7:09. All right, from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, the NBA Finals return to Madison Square Garden tonight, this time without President Donald Trump in attendance, so security will be more lax, and it will be a return of the big screen outside of the Garden, and is the watch party's return. The Spurs avoided a 3-0 deficit after Wemby led the team with 32 points in Game 3. Brunson also had 32 points in the defeat. The Knicks lead the series 2-1. Game 5 will head back to San Antonio. Stanley Cup Finals now knotted at 2 games apiece as the Carolina Hurricanes beat Vegas 5-3 last night. Jordan Staal led the way with a pair of goals for the Canes. The series shifts back to Carolina for Game 5 on Thursday in North Carolina. Baseball yesterday, the Yankees outlast the Guardians 3-2 in Cleveland. Spencer Jones hit his first Major League home run, a 2-run shot. Jazz Chisholm went deep as well. The Yankees have won 3 straight. They look to finish off the sweep against Cleveland today. The Mets were shut out by the Cardinals 7-0. Freddie Peralta takes the loss, 6 runs on 6 hits and 2 walks. The Mets dropped 2 of their last 3. They continue that 3-game series coming up tonight. Some football news. The head coach of the Carolina Panthers revealing cancer diagnosis and treatment. Dave Canales revealing that he recently underwent a procedure to remove a small spot of basal cell carcinoma on his nose. The 45-year-old said a routine skin cancer screening performed by the team identified some areas of concern when it came to skin cancer. The Bengals tweaking their star quarterback's contract. The move will save Cincinnati $10 million in cap space. Joe Burrow's deal will allow the team, reworking Joe Burrow's deal will allow the team to fit defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence onto the roster. Of course, they got Lawrence from the New York Giants. He was not happy in New York and wanted out. And let's see, the Cleveland Browns say they will not name a starting quarterback at the end of minicamp. Of course, Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson have played well so far, he says, but committing to either at the end of this week's minicamp is unlikely. Both players have split their first-team reps at practice. There's a rumor out there that the Buffalo Bills could be looking at a return of Stephon Diggs to the team.
It is a rumor.
Yeah, and I think it's...
I think it's a likely... I think it's a 50-50.
Why do you think that? Just because of the tweet?
I think they need... Well, because I think he's a free agent right now, and I think Buffalo needs him. And I know there's in my opinion, this would all be up to Josh Allen. And if I feel like Josh Allen is the type of person that could be like, you know what? He can catch the ball. I'm in control of this team now. Let's give him a second chance.
I will say this.
And he's what we need.
Is he getting the LeBron James treatment? He gets to decide if the coach stays or goes, or they ask him what they think about the next coach after. He didn't get to determine whether McDermott stayed.
He didn't.
But he got a say
yes.
in who the next coach was.
He had a say. He did not have the say. He had a say.
So now it's up to also Josh Allen on. I can understand if they said, give me a list of three wide receivers.
Listen, I'm just saying that it's me surmising. I have no evidence to base that on. So
I hope that's not the case because I think it's a very slippery slope.
But I don't think it is in this case because if you've got a problem player, a player who was a problem for your star quarterback, and they come to him and say, listen, we're thinking about bringing Stephon Diggs back. And how would you feel about that? To me, that is a wise question to ask. I don't think that's going too far. If you're allowing Josh Allen to populate the team, who comes, who goes, who stays, whatever, that would be a mistake. I don't see that this way. But if he has if he had a relationship problem with Stephon Diggs, and it was a problem for him, I don't think it's out of line for the coaching staff to say, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah, no, to ask what do you think, sure.
Yeah.
But I
So that's why I say it would be up to Josh Allen to say, you know what, I think we can do it without him. Or it would be a problem for me. I don't think that's bad. And again, I'm making all this crap up. This is all going on in my head. Other than the Deion Dawkins tweet, which basically said, it's time, man. That's basically what this is all based on.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if there's more talk on this and something happens. Because the one thing that Josh Allen has needed and has not had, and I know that they got this kid from UConn, right? Is that where he's from? But how many other receivers have they had in the last 4 years that just haven't worked out for the Bills? So at least with Stephon Diggs, you kind of know what you're getting, and it may be a little trouble, but you do know what you're getting. All right, this story about
who's just one more. Is it Gabriel? Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis.
I thought he wasn't. I don't think Gabe Davis is a top-notch receiver. Stephon Diggs was certainly the best that they've had in the last several years.
Yes.
DJ Moore, though, they did pick him up, so we'll see. We'll see. They need help at that position.
Again, this is just there's a lot of talk, and I think there are people both ways. People seeing both from both sides of the coin on this one. Don't bring him back. Hey, let's bring him back. I do think with the Patriots, he was a different Stephon Diggs. He wasn't complaining. You didn't see him on the sidelines yelling at somebody or pouting. He seemed to be, whether he was playing or not, whether he was having the ball thrown to him or not, he seemed to be a real positive asset on the sidelines.
Yes.
Okay, quick break. Coming up, the legal segment with attorney Jeremy Rosenthal. This Carmelo Anthony case. A lot of fighting going on in the streets after the guilty verdict came down. You have people saying it was self-defense. You have others saying it was not self-defense. And is self-defense, if somebody punches you or is coming at you and attacks you, is it self-defense if you punch them back? Yes. Yes. I'll make it easy. Yes. But if you pull a knife out of your pocket and you stab the person, is that going overboard? Is that
absolutely?
I think it is. I don't think this is I don't think there's any big debate here. But it'll be interesting to see what Jeremy Rosenthal says, because that was the debate going on outside the courtroom yesterday, and it turned to fisticuffs. People were like physical, and it was race related. So you had white on one side and black on the other. And, of course, Carmelo Anthony, no relation to Carmelo Anthony, if you will, is black and the victim was white. So that's where this is all coming into play. Quick break. We'll go to Rosenthal. The Rosenthal Report coming right up.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
There's never been a better time to buy the commercial mower that has your back. Ferris. For a limited time, your Ferris dealer, Clinton Tractor, has the best financing offers of the year. Choose the offer that works best for you, 36 or 60 months. There are even options to skip payments when work is slow. It's never been easier to buy a Ferris. So visit Clinton Tractor today on Meadow Street in Clinton. Ferris. Experience suspension. All loans subject to credit approval.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
The universal truth of women's shoes, the cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lisanne thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by and try them for yourself. We're located in New Hartford on Commercial Drive across from Hobby Lobby.
Hello, Oneida and Herkimer County Republicans. I'm Charles Potter, your candidate for the 118th Assembly District. I would be honored to earn your support on June 23rd. With 14 years of dedicated service as a county supervisor and the only candidate endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party, experience matters. Please vote for Charles Potter on June 23rd. Early voting starts on June 13th. Paid for by Friends of Charles Potter.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver, but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Here's your chance to sing the national anthem in front of some 40,000 people at the Boilermaker Post-Race Party on Wednesday, June 24th at 6 p.m. at Babes at Harbor Point. It's the official audition to select this year's Post-Race Party National Anthem singer. Reserve your audition spot now by registering at postraceanthem.com. And get ready to sing at the Boilermakers National Anthem audition from the radio stations of Town Square Media. Register now at postraceanthem.com. Hey, in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, we had picked out a whole bunch of tile, and
when you say we,
you're right. Let me start that over. My wife picked out a whole bunch of tile in Sarah's, and we've been on hold, and between the contractor, who I'm just going to say it, we're using Nagel. Pitter Patter. Is that what it is? Pitter Patter?
I believe it is, yeah.
He does a tremendous job. I like the work that he does. You know, down there across from the train station, which is now the Crust, I think. Is that what it's called? Out of Rome? Is now that, all that work that outdoor work was all done by Nagel's company.
Really?
Yeah, it's really beautiful. He does really good work. Nonetheless, his schedule didn't work with ours. This has gone on for like a year and a half. Ours didn't work with his, so we're finally getting to the point where it's going to get completed, and the people in Sarah's have been holding on to this tile that my wife picked out for quite some time. And We did hardwoods with them, and we used their installer, which it was craftsmanship, just tremendous. And if you've been thinking about hardwoods, listen to this. Right now at Insera's, they're having a hardwood flooring sale, and you can get 50% off Premier Hallmark Alta Vista Oak Hardwood at $325 a square foot. Another incredible deal on hardwood is Mohawk Radiant Oak Hardwood, only $3 a square foot, which is 50% savings on that during their hardwood blowout, which is going on through the end of the month. Huge savings, 50% off right now on hardwood. If you want hardwood flooring, the real stuff, Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and InserasFlooringOutlet.com. As I always say, you wouldn't go to a bike shop to get your flooring done, would you?
No.
Unless you're building flooring to put a bike on. You know, I'm riding my bike on the floor. We build a floor just for the bike. Then maybe you go to a bike shop. But if it's hardwoods for your home, you'd go to a flooring store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, River Road in Marcy.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
And Manaski.
Oh, boy. Some of these comments on YouTube. The caller...
They had their own show going on YouTube, let me tell you.
Okay. Well, that comment's racist. So
there's
we're
some of that going on, too. And whenever I say, yeah, there's a comment a little on the racist side, I'm called a wuss and a snowflake because... No, sorry, it's blatantly racist, man. It's not even close.
There is an odd sidebar conversation going on. Somebody's referring here. We mentioned the Carmelo Anthony situation. Somebody refers to a group of his supporters as coloreds.
Okay, that's not a proper term today.
What made me laugh was the...
considered inappropriate. This is coming from the snowflake. Give me a freaking break.
The caller about the umpire sounded...
Get with the times, for God's sakes.
The caller about the umpire sounded a little like Joe Pesci. And I kind of did a little bit. Also, where's Beth today? Deed says she ran out for some more Werther's Originals. Okay.
Don't know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the man, one of probably the greatest attorney in Texas, the one and only, a defense attorney especially, the one and only Jeremy Rosenthal. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We've given you number one status.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be recognized by the people in Utica, New York, as the greatest in Texas. I'll take that.
Yeah, and which means you need somebody here. I mean, you could practice in New York. Can you practice in New York?
I could do federal work, and I can do what's called pro hoc vice, which is Latin for they'll let me do something in New York one time as long as I don't upset you. Think my cousin Vinny and practicing in Alabama for one case. That's kind of what that is.
That's real. I remember that.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, just keep that in your pocket. You never know when you might need it. I'm talking about our listeners and the rest of us here. All right. Very interesting case. Of course, the Carmelo Anthony name grabs our attention here because of the basketball great from Syracuse and beyond, Carmelo Anthony, and his son currently playing for Syracuse, and hopefully they have a better year. And then this was a fatal stabbing, and sadly, it's white versus black, is really what was happening outside the courtroom yesterday, and it became a little bit on the violent side. I feel like this, unless I don't know something, so that's why having you on is great. I feel like this is pretty cut and dry, that the reaction to a push or a shove or a punch can be a push or a shove or a punch, but when it turns to knife, that would have to mean your life is on the line. And this kid was found guilty. What are your thoughts, and what are we missing?
Well, so you're aware, this case happened in Collin County, USA. This is where I practice.
Okay.
and I actually covered for the local one of the local TV affiliates. I reported on it for a day with them. I got to watch the actual trial in the courtroom.
Wow.
For a minute, and yeah. So I mean, yes, you can't use a knife when you are pushed. So he didn't really have a very good self-defense claim.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make that argument to say my life was threatened. The young man who pushed him was much bigger than him. You can make an argument that the other kid was the aggressor. But still doesn't justify bringing a knife to a track meet or using it. The bigger issue is whether this was manslaughter or murder. And the jury came back with murder.
In Florida, they have the stand your ground law that we've learned about so much, and that would possibly change things. But I'm assuming Texas, like New York, does not have that.
They do. They just don't. It's just you can't do that in public.
Okay. I was going to say stand your ground is, I think, for your home, right? If you're on your own property.
The one big story there, he was not. He was in a development. If you remember that story in Florida with the stand your ground, I forgot the names, but.
Yeah, and look, in Texas, we don't mind a good fight here, so you're, I don't know that it was a big issue. That I think it was more of an issue of bringing the knife to a fight like that than it was anything else. I don't think anybody had a problem with him fighting, Carmelo Anthony fighting. I think that the issue was that he did it excessively.
Yeah. And then right now, it looks like the defense is asking for the court to look at this, and I'm going to screw up the terminology, and you'll have it, but that there was tempers were elevated, and an overreaction occurred, and therefore, when it comes to sentencing, it should be far more lenient. And I would think the argument on the other side would be the premeditation of bringing the knife to the fist fight.
Right, that was a big part of it. And actually, late last night, they actually did sentence him. So that's kind of a change.
Okay. All right, I didn't see
that. No, yeah. So they sentenced him to 35 years. And it was very surprising because the sentencing phase was very quick relative to the rest of the trial. You would anticipate the decedent's family getting up and testifying, talking about what this has meant to them and their loss. And then you also get a lot of mitigation evidence from the defendant, stories, psychological evaluations. Why did he behave this way? And there just wasn't a lot of that. I think both of the parties kind of laid it out on the field, if you will, for the guilt innocence phase, and then they just sort of said, "Well, we'll just let the jury decide the punishment," which an interesting choice, but that's how it turned out.
Can I ask you an unfair question?
Of course, that's what we do,
because we're Yankees up here. Although I am a Mets fan, we're Yankees up here. I once spilled a drink in a cab, and the taxi driver yelled at us and was going to make us pay $40. So I'm like, all right, I'll call 911. And the Cobb County Police came, the Sheriff's Department came, and quickly handcuffed me and the guy I was with, and we went to Cobb County Jail. And the judge said, "You're Yankees. That's why this happened." So we look at things a little different up here, and that is anything to the south. Well, of course he was convicted. He's black, and he killed a white guy. That is really unfair in today's world, and just blanketing and saying the South and Texas is the South is also unfair. Would you mind for us up here to give us your opinion on all of that?
So I think when anybody asks, is race a factor, I think that's an incomplete question.
Yeah.
Is it a factor to who?
Right.
Is it a factor to me sitting in my couch? Nobody cares what I think. This isn't about me. Is it a factor to, the deceased? Was that why he started a fight with Carmelo? I don't think so.
Right.
Was it a factor to Carmelo and his family? I think they would very much say yes. So I think it's a really incomplete question. Was it a factor for the jury?
Right, which was all white, by the way.
It was so yes, it was a diverse jury. However, there were no African Americans.
Okay,
I'll say that. So because I was in the courtroom, I saw them. There were. We have a very big South Asian population here.
I see. Okay.
But there were no African Americans, and so that part was accurate. And the prosecution struck 3 African Americans, and they got challenged over it. So that part of it really heightens it. And to me, when I'm arguing, sometimes we argue that, look, Judge, the appearance of impropriety dictates that something different happened here. And anytime you make that argument, the argument is, look, the one human that matters to is sitting right here.
Right,
this guy can either go to prison and reflect on his mistakes, or he can be mad at you. So what are we going to do here, right? So I think it's a very difficult question, but I think it's an important one, and I don't know that there's a clear answer.
Yeah. There may have been a time there was a time in our history where if a white man had been pushed by a black man and the white man stabbed the black man, there are parts of this country where the white man would have got off with self-defense at some point in our history. But I do think with transparency today, I hope to think, maybe I'm wrong, I believe we have changed tremendously in this country.
I think it's much better.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to talk to Carmelo Anthony and his family, I think that their frustration would be that nobody on the jury could really relate to him. Really relate to Carmelo Anthony. And I think that would be sort of their frustration.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's why we have these conversations, and we are America evolves always.
Yeah. It must have been just fascinating for you, being a student of law, always to be sitting in on this trial.
It was upsetting because I hate being on the bench, but yes, it was also fascinating.
Yes, I didn't think about it that way. So, all right. Well, listen, you're first string for us this morning, so there you go.
Well, thank you.
As always, we appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of the week.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Jeremy Rosenthal. And, I got to say one thing about this, Davey, and correct me if I'm wrong. I realize when I read through Facebook and especially on YouTube, people are like, this terrible program, awful, what a moron, this guy, these two, or maybe just me, Jeff, maybe it's just me, what an idiot.
It's just you.
Our lineup of guests, we're very lucky, and they come on because they actually enjoy coming on.
Right.
We have a pretty darn good lineup of regular guests that show up on this program.
Yeah. And
Davey will tell you that Jeremy Rosenthal is one of the top defense attorneys in all of Texas. And they canceled all of our contracts with Fox News. Canceled all of our special guest contracts. And
wait, ours specifically?
Not ours, but
okay.
In general, they no longer do this.
That was gone for a while.
They send their reporters out, but they don't have specialists anymore. Jeremy Rosenthal loved coming on here and still enjoys coming on here to the point where he said, "Hey, Davey, even though they got rid of me, here's my information. Here's my phone number. I'll still come on every week."
Yep, you are right. He reached out to. Yep,
he reached out to us. So thank you, Davey, for
You're welcome.
And making that happen. And he's a great guest to have on because you get a different perspective. And there he is, this huge trial. It's right in his backyard, and he was in the courtroom, which I think is what he says when we talk about Caitlin Conley and that documentary showed up, and he's like, "This is in your backyard." And you know the attorneys that were on the case?
Mm-hmm.
And he had conversations with Frank Policelli and everything else, and the rest is... I'm not... maybe I'm doing a little patting on the back, or maybe I'm patting back at the wonderful people on YouTube that oftentimes comment.
So you're padding back. Well, don't push
I'm
back because I
padding back.
have a spork over here,
Okay.
and I will use it.
It could hurt. Right, and that's where you're taking it too far. All right, let's do Habaika's free money question of the day. Davey, this morning it is worth not only movie passes, yes, not only Friday night's fight night at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino, part of the Boxing Hall of Fame's induction weekend. Davey's on the line right now, so I'm going to do it for him. You had said earlier $250, right? So $250, and you also said you're looking for caller number 11. Oh, you didn't say that. Caller 11 for $250. That's pretty good. 315-736-0186. Caller 11 right now. I have an awesome question, and we'll also give you a chance to win Fight Night tickets, along with a minimum of $250. At least a chance at that. We'll do it next. Looking for caller 11 right now at 315-736-0186.
Contractors and landscapers, be able to take on more jobs and get your current projects done with Warner Sales and Service. Whether it's the tough lifting and digging or the more precise work with attachments, Warner Sales and Service has the Bobcat rental to make sure your projects get done. Tough work demands tough equipment, so stop in today at Warner Sales and Service, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, and at WarnerSS.com.
Where quality still counts at Warner's.
Albany is broke, and Dan Fusco knows it. Highest energy costs, highest taxes, highest healthcare costs. These issues affect you and your families, and Dan knows it. With 50 years of private business experience, Dan is determined to fix Albany. Vote for someone who has long-term solutions, who will listen and work for you. Vote Dan Fusco on June 23rd.
Paid for by Friends of Dan Fusco.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Couple things is Davey is still going at caller number 11. I think he's getting all the info. They'll be playing this morning, not only for the money, not only for the tickets, but movie passes. Just by getting through, the 11th caller gets movie passes to the Glenwood Movieplex and Rome Cinema 8. And then they'll have an opportunity as well to win boxing tickets for Friday night, Turning Stone Resort and Casino. Awesome night, right? You're under it's under the boxing lights inside the showroom. Inside the event center of the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. And it's still, casinos and boxing, it all really goes very much together.
I'll be there on Friday night.
Davey will be there Friday night. So, maybe you look for Davey and you sit with Davey and watch the action.
And you doing autographs?
And maybe it's an autograph.
No autographs.
No, you'll take a picture with somebody, though.
Yeah, if they want me to.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
As a matter of fact, I took a picture of one of our listeners in the shopping mall, in the shopping center yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're coming right up to you. That's
you
awesome.
took a picture of them?
No, I took a picture with them.
With them.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, let's bring in Shelby in Rome. Hello, Shelby.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Good. All right, you know the deal, how this all works. You'll have 7 seconds. It comes from the Habaika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Habaika, at 315-724-1600. Call if you need them when it comes to your legal needs. Now, before we do the free money question, which you're going to be playing for at least $250, let's see if we can up that just a little bit and get you some boxing tickets for Friday night. You will have an opportunity to increase your wager, if you will, by $100, $200, or $300. I spin this electronic wheel. It's going to land on one of them. Which will it be? $100, $200, or $300?
Jeff, I need your help. Let's do 100.
You're going to go with 100.
I was going to recommend 100.
You're going to go with 100. Let's spin it and see what we get.
$100.
Wow.
All right, good job.
Nice. Stop it. Nice, which means you win the boxing tickets. Can you go Friday night?
Absolutely.
All right. You get the boxing tickets. Fight night at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino, 361 show. or go to Ticketmaster.com or TurningStone.com, wherever you get your tickets. But that's Friday night, 6 p.m. So you've got that. And now you're playing for $250, but we add $100 because you got that right. We add $100 to your possible jackpot. So you're now playing for $350. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. This is your question.
I'll try to help here if I can too.
And I'm even going to give you. I have two questions here. One for today, one for tomorrow. Do you want A or B? Which do you want?
Jeff, I need your help.
B. Going with B. Are you ready?
All right.
All right. Here it is. Which was America's first ever privately owned zoo? What was the name of it? Ready? Go.
Utica Zoo.
Was America's first privately owned zoo Utica Zoo? Utica's municipal.
Yeah, it is municipal.
Utica is municipal.
I don't know, the Bronx Zoo? Is that Rosamond Gifford?
No. The answer is in 1950, and there's a movie out on this right now. And there was a big story this week in the Times-Union. The answer is the Catskill Game Farm was the first ever. Did you ever go to the Catskill Game Farm?
No, Bill, but I did visit Mike Tyson up there one time.
Oh, you did? All right, yeah, because he was a juvenile over there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Catskill Game Farm has a huge, by the way, the movie is about its unbelievable connection to the Nazis in Germany.
Really?
And higher-ups, like right up close to Hitler. It's an amazing documentary movie that is coming out. And Catskill Game Farm is your answer. All right, well, listen, you don't win the money, but damn it, you got the tickets. It's our final pair of tickets to give away. You stand by. You'll be at the Turning Stone on Friday night. Shelby, great job.
I'll be sitting right next to Davey.
All right, perfect. All right, you hold on.
Nice job.
Davey, he's all yours. That's Shelby in Rome. This is a great story. I mean, this is a terrible story, but
an interesting one.
So Himmler, or whoever was Hitler's number 2 guy, one of the co-owners, both owners of the Catskill Game Farm came from Germany.
Okay.
Either before or right after World War II, and the one owner was best friends with Hitler's number 2. I forget whether it was Hess or Goebbels or whatever it was, whatever the name was. And that connection remains. Many of the animals that they got from the Catskill Game Farm came from Nazi Germany.
It says here Hermann Göring was Hitler's number 2. Maybe
Göring was his guy. They were best friends, according to this documentary. And they were doing. I remember going to the Catskill Game Farm as a kid. They were doing experiments, Nazi science experiments on these animals, trying to bring back extinct animals and create exotic animals. There were all sorts of defects. It apparently was a disaster.
Really?
But no one really knew about it. And all of that history has now been uncovered. It's a very interesting movie that's going to be coming out.
So it's a movie or a documentary?
It is it's a movie, but I'm assuming based on that it'd be a documentary. So it's not it's not a where there are actors. I'm assuming we're dealing with just telling the news story end of it. If you wanted to know a little more about it, and maybe I've missed a few things, you can search for the story, Catskill Game Farm. American Zoo, I think, is the name of the movie. Is that right? And you'll find the story in the Albany Times-Union. Pretty wild.
Very interesting. Yeah, they have that posted just about 12 hours ago. Tribeca Festival documentary, American Zoo, The Rise and Fall of the Catskill Game Farm.
Which, if you remember, we had, Fort Rickey here was our big, and there were a few, I think, in the North Country, but in the Catskills, Catskill Game Farm was enormous, and, of course, was advertised here. Pretty wild. Earlier today, I said it's National Iced Tea Day, right?
Oh yeah, you had a recommendation
I
for
did.
me. You thought this was going to be helpful to me somehow.
There is a new iced tea with a little extra energy boost to get. Oh, this isn't real. Oh yeah, this is something somebody sent me. They're putting meth in the iced tea. Yeah.
What?
No, yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm not going there. I'm sure it's stupid. Today is National Iced Tea Day. They say the best iced tea you can make is if you put it in the jar and you set it out in the sunshine and it gets really hot, and it naturally brews the iced tea.
Is that right?
Yeah. There's a way. You can look it up online. All right, I have a little quiz for you. As long as we'll keep going before I break, I'll do a little quiz. If you're still in your car or wherever you might be, here's a little. This is a quiz to tell you if you are officially old.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I realize that is in the eyes of the beholder. Like my kids will look at me and be like, "You're old," but somebody in their 70s or 80s, like, "Oh, you're just a youngin."
Yes.
Right? It depends
Bill,
on.
I don't think you're old, and I think I'm about 20 years younger than you.
Thank you for that. I feel it's the immaturity.
Yes.
I've been told.
Wife and I agree.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play a jingle, and you have to identify the jingle.
Okay.
With the product.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is if you can identify it, you're on the old side.
If you can identify this, you're old.
Okay.
Okay. Although I think these are very easy, so don't be depressed over this. Here we go. Here's number one.
Is Folgers in your cup?
Okay, you're old.
I am.
Yeah, you're old.
Do they still make Folgers instant coffee?
I think they do. And in fact, there are some drinks and things you can make, and some people use like instant coffee for the drinks.
Oh, like a coffee martini or something like that?
Here's jingle number 2. Folgers in your cup is correct. Here's jingle number 2.
Is Folgers in your cup?
Oh, it gives the answer. So there you go.
I am stuck on Band-Aid brand.
Okay.
Because Band-Aid stuck on me?
Yeah, because Band-Aid stuck on me. Yeah, of course that's Band-Aid.
Band-Aid stuck on me.
Okay. All right, here is number 3. You'll totally know this one. And I don't think it means you're old. Here we go.
My Bonnie has a first date.
Oh, Oscar Mayer.
It's OSCAR.
First date. It's OSCAR.
Okay. Good singer.
She struggled to spell Oscar
She did.
as well.
She did. You know that she actually grew up to become Cyndi Lauper. That was Cyndi Lauper singing that.
That's not true.
I know it isn't, but I thought I'd throw it in. Okay, here's one more. The final one. Are you old? Are you old?
Oh, what a relief it is.
Yeah,
but
you're old.
What Alka-Seltzer?
Alka-Seltzer. Alka-Seltzer.
I remember these.
Is the answer.
Late 80s. Were they all late 80s?
Well, those are probably 70s. Probably 1970s. Based on the sound of those. But those are all brands that lasted well into the 80s. And I always felt like a Band-Aid. I mean, Band-Aid's so popular, we call it a Band-Aid.
Yeah, like Kleenex, right?
Yes. And I got to say that they always were the best. I felt they stayed on. They were wide enough.
I agree.
Yeah. And sometimes you can buy the non-brand, and it's just not the same. Yeah. There are a few other products.
They never stick. That's the problem.
They don't stick. There are a few other products that are like that.
We have some people on the YouTube stream who are playing along here. Try this one. Deed says, double your pleasure, double your fun.
Doublemint gum.
What? But there was something. Wasn't there a line missing
double
there?
Your pleasure, double your fun.
Double your something with Doublemint gum. I don't remember what the
I
third
don't know
line
either.
is there.
I can probably find that. Yeah.
Let's see. Nick says Curad. I guess they were a good Band-Aid company.
Curad was the boo-boo. If I remember that little kid saying he had a boo-boo.
Okay.
Yeah. Curad. If I'm correct.
Now today, the younger kids would say boo-boo is like the person they're dating. That's their boo-boo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I never. I guess I've had a few exes that I would consider an injury. So that would make sense.
Or just their boo. They would call them their boo.
Their boo.
Yeah.
One more?
Well, I've got some comments here on...
Let me bring in, while you look for those, I'll bring in Mike. A couple of calls here. 315-736-0186. Mike and Skyler, good morning.
How you doing? Hey, you can't forget this one. Here's one right here. Ready?
Yep.
You can't forget this one. What was that? You hear it?
Diet Coke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
You can't forget that one.
Just for the taste of it, just for the whatever. Diet Coke.
Just for the satisfaction.
Oh, you sound just like her.
No.
That's so funny. That's a good one. I'm glad you were able to play it right back at us there, Mike. Nice job.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, have a good one. Thank you. Here is Stefan Ribitsky.
All right.
Good morning, Stefan.
Well, hello, Bill.
Someday people will say, and you're going to be old if you know this. You're going to be old. It's not a jingle, but it's a saying that used to be on the radio all the time. Well, hello. Finish.
Bill.
And sometimes it was Bill, Jeff, Davey, Christine, Andrew. Yeah, all of that. So good morning, Stefan.
Well, last night I was at the fitness, Bill, and they had a meet and greet with a couple of boxers, Katrina Scalzo and a retired boxer, Christine Martin, and I got my picture taken with both of them, and Christine Martin's record is 49-7-3.
Wow. Did she put that on her signature?
Yes, it was on the poster there, and I made WKTV news with my picture with both of them, and it was a good time there, and the head coach, Sal, liked me a lot. He wants me to come back to a boxing class.
Oh, maybe a little self-defense there. I like it. That's Friday night. They'll be all, and Scalzo is a I believe a Utica teacher, right? And
yes, she is.
And she's going to be boxing on Friday night. I mean, I do think that's going to be one of the. I know there are 2 title fights. But I think that is going to be one of the highlights of the night, the women, and will be well worth watching. All right, Stefan Manaski's being a little negative. He's talking about how the Mets have lost 2 of their last 3. I like to say they've won 7 out of their last 11. But bad game for the Mets yesterday, losing 7-0. Not good.
Yes, it was. And Scalzo's opponent Friday night is Michelle Cook.
All right, that's Friday night at the Turning Stone. Good stuff, Stefan. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Go Mets. Go Bills. What would you think What would you think if the Bills brought back Stephon Diggs? He'd be really upset. If I knew that, I'd hang up on you, is what he's saying.
Okay.
Quick comments?
Yeah, so Johnny says Band-Aid song written by Barry Manilow.
He wrote a lot of jingles.
Barry
McDonald's, others as well.
A guy named Barry, apparently, Barry 3140. Barry Manilow used to do a piece during his live shows singing all the jingles that he wrote.
Yeah.
He wrote so many during his younger years.
Carole King was also a big jingle writer.
Now, as I looked up Barry Manilow, because someone also said he is sick here.
I believe so.
Okay, so here's just an example of some of the jingles he wrote. State Farm Insurance, Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is there.
Neighbor, State Farm is there.
As you said, I am stuck on Band-Aid because Band-Aid's stuck on me. McDonald's, You Deserve a Break Today.
Yep.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, Grab a Bucket of Chicken. Dr. Pepper, Be a Pepper.
That one may be that's one of the great ones.
Be a Pepper.
One of the really memorable. I'm a pepper, she's a pepper, he's a pepper, somebody else a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
Oh, I don't
be
remember
that. Be a pepper,
that.
Drink Dr. Pepper.
Yes. Was that 70s? It must be 70s, right?
70s, 80s.
I don't remember that one. Pepsi, Feeling Free.
I don't remember that one.
Stridex.
A lot of Barry Manilow's jingles came in the 70s before he was, just before he became a pop star.
Let's see. Stridex, give your face something to smile about. And,
versus the acne all over it.
Oh, okay. So it was a pimple treatment. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
And interestingly, since we're talking about all this, I just quickly looked up to see if he was still performing. As a matter of fact, he'll be at the MVP Arena in Albany.
Yeah, I saw
on
that.
Monday, June 29th. So maybe you can go and he'll do the bit about his skits in there.
He looks very thin. Barry Manilow.
But isn't he's up there in age?
I can, one more?
Oh, go ahead. No.
I can tell you this. If he's having problems with his knees, his hip, his back, before he goes to Albany, he should stop here to the Good Feet store. You can walk in. He wouldn't even need an appointment. Barry, come on in. Come in. And we're going to help you. We're going to give you a free fitting and a test walk. No appointment needed for Barry Manilow or anybody at the Good Feet store. The goal is, and we've heard from so many people that say it absolutely works, to get rid of the pain. And it could be caused by an improper step. The Good Feet store in New Hartford, 4630 Commercial Drive, New Hartford. And you can call for questions at 315-999-3910, but you do not need an appointment. And River Hills Properties. Maybe you want to make an appointment with River Hills to find out what your home is worth today. There is a housing shortage. The stock, as they call it, is incredibly low, which means a lot of times the houses go up for sale and there becomes a bidding war. Oftentimes, houses are being sold over the asking price. River Hills can help, whether you're up here with offices in Barneveld and Little Falls and Newport and now in Rome, or in the heat of Florida, Sarasota, Naples, Marco Island. Maybe your winters are down there, and your beautiful summers are up here. River Hills can help. They have a full team of River Hills white glove treatment waiting for you there and up here as well. Never using the lockbox. Your listing agent is always there every time your house is shown. It's River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. 315-896-1009 is the number.
We got some more comments to get to on the other side. Some interesting stuff. One about horse racing, and we'll touch it in the end.
All right, we'll get to all of it coming up. For now, though, news is next.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Now they'll pay the price. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. After the downing of an Army helicopter, new U.S. airstrikes in Iran, and retaliatory strikes aimed at American bases, President Trump posts on Truth Social, Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East is dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal. That would have been great for them. Now they'll have to pay the price.
Iran's Revolutionary Guards say in all they carried out 21 attacks. A U.S. official says nearly all of those missiles and drones were intercepted and no casualties have been reported across the region. The Iranian response came just hours after the U.S. military launched airstrikes near the Strait of Hormuz. Targets included air defense, ground control stations, and surveillance radar sites. U.S. strikes came after President Trump blamed Tehran for downing an Army AH-64 Apache attack helicopter. Both service members on board the chopper are said to be, quote, safe and uninjured.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer in Maine. Graham Plattner overcomes a series of scandals and wins the Democrats' primary for Senate.
It is my job to earn your trust, faith, and support.
He's trying to win the seat Republican Susan Collins has held since 1997. There are violent protests after a stabbing in Northern Ireland.
Belfast was on fire last night. This morning, it smoulders and fumes. Reports of masked men burning families out of their homes. According to pastors, lawmakers, and local leaders, victims were targeted because they were black. In part of the city, cars, homes, and a bus have been torched. The trigger was a brutal knife attack on a man left with wounds to his eyes, face, and back. A 30-year-old man, an asylum seeker from Sudan, has been charged with attempted murder. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Ukraine's military hits targets deep inside Russia, including energy facilities and military industrial facilities. America's listening to Fox News.
We're living through a monetary crime scene, and your IRA or 401k is a key victim. Hi, Dr. Ron Paul here. In 1971, gold was $35 an ounce. After the dollar was cut loose from it, inflation soared, and in just 9 years, gold hit $850. People who diversified into precious metals survived and thrived. Today, we're in a worse position because we face inflation and massive debt. Fortunately, gold is still an option. My trusted friends at Birch Gold Group can help you own gold inside your retirement account. Plus, you pay 0 penalties on the transfer. Start now by getting a free info kit on gold. Text the word SHELTER to 989898. We're facing the same monetary chaos as the 70s with significantly more debt. Get your free info kit from Birch Gold. Just text SHELTER to the number 989898.
The 35-year sentence for a fatal stabbing in Texas.
A jury in Collin County, Texas, finding Carmelo Anthony guilty of first-degree murder in the 2025 death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Prosecutors say the two teens who went to different schools did not know each other and got into a fight at a stadium during a Frisco Independent School District track meet when Anthony used a pocket knife to stab Metcalf. Anthony, who pleaded not guilty, did not take the stand. His attorneys had claimed self-defense.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Chicago police are investigating a burning cross in a park.
The large wooden cross discovered in Grant Park near Lake Michigan. Firefighters quickly putting out the blaze. It's not yet known why the 6-foot cross was set on fire.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates gives an interview today for the House Oversight Committee's Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
Recent reporting by the Wall Street Journal says that in 2014, Gates was warned to maintain a, quote, healthy distance from Epstein by Melanie Walker, a medical expert who previously worked for Gates but was friendly with Epstein. The Journal reports that Walker first met Epstein in the 90s through President Donald Trump at the Plaza Hotel in New York City. Gates has not been accused of wrongdoing in connection with Epstein, but had a years-long professional relationship with him. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Apple's virtual assistant Siri is renamed Siri AI with new artificial intelligence features. Not everyone is getting it.
It was revealed that these upgrades would not be available in the member states of the European Union. Apple elsewhere said that decision is a result of the European Commission not working with the tech giant over privacy issues. The EU says they will make no exceptions to their law known as the Digital Markets Act for Apple, and that Apple didn't want to develop software conforming to it, and that is their choice.
Fox's Evan Brown. Dow and NASDAQ futures each down more than 400 points after the U.S. and Iran trade airstrikes, and President Trump says Iran will pay the price for stalled peace negotiations. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, 68 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. State police believe a body found near the Erie Canal is that of a missing man from Rome. Those remains were spotted Sunday near Lock 22, which is located in the area of Wood Creek Road in Verona. Troopers say the body is likely that of 50-year-old Patrick Iannotti, who was last seen alive over 2 weeks ago. He had been reported missing. Officials are awaiting autopsy results to confirm that and determine his cause of death. A boat ran aground after striking the breakwater at the entrance of the Erie Canal on Oneida Lake. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it happened around noon yesterday near buoy 107 by a passing personal watercraft. Deputies found that there were two people on board, Richard Ressler and Lavina Yoder, both of Pennsylvania. They were not injured. The Sheriff's Office says intoxication was not a factor, and the boat operator was unfamiliar with Oneida Lake's navigation aids. Oneida County Office for the Aging and 50 Forward Mohawk Valley will be hosting 2 awareness and prevention sessions on June 15th, recognizing World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. The events will highlight scams, how to identify them, and what seniors can do if they fall victim to one. There are 2 sessions, one happening at Verona Beach later in the day and one happening in the city of Utica at the Parkway, Memorial Parkway. The Parkway Recreation Center, I should say. You can sign up through the Oneida County Office for the Aging by calling 315-798-5456. And Governor Kathy Hochul announcing her endorsement in the race to represent New York's 129th Assembly District. Hochul is throwing her support behind fellow Democrat and current Assemblyman Bill Magnarelli. He's being challenged in a primary later this month by Onondaga County lawmaker Mo Brown. Hochul says Magnarelli is a strong advocate for Central New York families, and he's delivered investments for education and transportation. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:08. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
It is going to be warm and humid on this Wednesday with periods of showers and storms from this morning to the afternoon as the high hits 87 degrees. More rain tonight with a low in the upper 60s. We're not done tomorrow. There will be showers and thunderstorms moving through with a high of 88 and another round of showers and storms for Friday with a high near 90. I'm Jeff Marr at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now we have mostly cloudy skies. Obviously, as he just said, it'll be another hot one today. And we are currently at 71 degrees. It's 8:09. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, NBA Finals continue tonight at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks lead the Spurs 2-1. San Antonio looking to claw back in the series after taking Game 3. A win tonight would mean they were even at 2 apiece. Victor Wembanyama had 32 points in Game 3. So did Jalen Brunson. The loss for the Knicks snapped a 13-game postseason winning streak. The Stanley Cup final is even at 2 apiece after the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Vegas Golden Knights 5-3 last night. Jordan Stahl had a pair of goals for the Canes. The series shifts back to Carolina for Game 5 on Thursday in Raleigh. Baseball action last night. The Yankees outlast the Guardians 3-2. Spencer Jones hit his first Major League home run, a 2-run shot. Jazz Chisholm Jr. went deep as well. The Yankees have won 3 straight. They look to finish off the series sweep today. The Mets shut out by the Cardinals at home in the series opener 7-0. Freddie Peralta takes the loss. The Mets have dropped 2 of their last 3. They continue that 3-game series tonight.
7 of 11.
7 of 11 they've won.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some football news. The Bengals restructuring Joe Burrow's contract. The move will save Cincy $10 million in cap space. That allows for recently acquired defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence to fit on their roster. Of course, he was recently acquired from the New York Giants. Panthers head coach Dave Canales disclosing some personal news on the first day of mandatory minicamp. He says that he recently underwent a procedure to remove a small spot of basal cell carcinoma from his nose. The 45-year-old saying a routine skin cancer screening performed by the team identified some areas of concern. And the Men's College World Series gets underway this weekend. The double elimination style tournament is set to begin Friday in Omaha. I should say it continues. I don't know why it says it gets underway. There were 64 teams to start. West Virginia and Troy will play in Game 1, followed by a matchup between North Carolina and Ole Miss. The next day, Alabama plays Oklahoma, and Georgia will face off against Texas. Speaking of, I guess
you at least we were discussing the Stephon Diggs coming back to the Buffalo Bills. There is no evidence of that happening. This all started with a Deion Dawkins tweet responding to Diggs, and it's created quite a conversation in Buffalo about whether or not is there a hint there that Diggs is coming back. He is a free agent. We'll see.
Now, Deion Dawkins is the one who put on Twitter, it's about that time or it's time?
It's about
something?
time.
It's about time.
Something like that. So basically, it's time for Diggs to come back.
Am I mistaken that the wide receiver who was ridiculed publicly was Deion Coleman?
Yeah, is Coleman gone or is he?
Well, I was going to say I just think it would be hilarious.
It's pronouncing Keon.
Keon Coleman,
and
not
he said
Deion,
that, and
not
he read.
Deion.
He said in the article I read about 3 weeks ago that this is his year to shine.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't shine, he's gone because this is the end of the contract for the Bills.
Well, I got to tell you that what Pagula put him through, throwing him under the bus like that was just terrible, and that debacle of a press conference. But you know what? If he turns around and has the dynamite season they thought he was going to have, you know what everybody's going to say is like, well, Terry Pagula threw a threw a
challenge.
Threw a challenge out there, and he answered it, and that actually worked. I don't know.
You know what, though? They already have DJ Moore. If they go back and get Stephon Diggs again, it might be Coleman's turn to shine. Shine cleats is what he might be doing.
Might very well be. Yeah. Richard on AI. And this, Richard, all I'm going to tell you is AI is not going to make a really good cheesecake. But AI could tell you the recipe and how to do it.
Okay.
Right? But you don't know that because you wouldn't need it because you already have the ability to make a really good cheesecake. That's what he does and has done for a living.
Yeah.
What AI could do, however, is find somewhere published his recipe for a cheesecake in his style and actually help someone else make a cheesecake like the old Manny's cheesecake.
I would imagine he's got a proprietary, am I saying that right? Proprietary recipe, and you think he's shared that online?
I don't, but it could be published anywhere. I mean, somebody could say, "Hey,
I used to cook there.
I used to cook there. I used to work there. This is the perfect Manny's cheesecake hack. I've created a recipe that tastes just like the Manny's." I mean, that's where that would come into play. But he says, looks like AI is really in trouble, according to reports. I really don't understand it, and I don't care, he says. AI over the last few weeks has destroyed Wolfspeed stock. If AI has no future, then so goes Wolfspeed. If Wolfspeed is relying on AI for their future, I would expect Wolfspeed will do just fine because AI is not going anywhere. There is no end to AI. They're going to try to restrict it and regulate it, which probably is a good idea, but it ain't going anywhere.
So John in Deerfield, good segue, Bill. John in Deerfield says, I agree with Jeff that society right now is calling things AI that are not AI. This gets back to a conversation we had last hour. He says, AI has quickly become an industry buzzword. Translation speech to another language is not learned activity. It is expedited computation. I'm clicking on this so I can read the rest of it.
AI is not necessarily learned. Where you want to go with AI is where it becomes independent. Right now, AI is basically a really fast computer. And so, no, that's not true. And they are using AI or a really fast computer to do real-time, not delayed, but real-time translation. This is different than what used to be done. You used to be able to get a translation like those old people that are, now I can understand what my grandson says on the phone because it prints what he says right here on the phone. Yes, delayed. It's delayed. Now, while this is slightly delayed, it's faster than it's ever been done before. Well, the computations that AI does are faster than anything that we've ever done before. And when AI gets to the point where it is independent, where it actually can learn on its own or think, if you will, on its own, that, I believe, reaches the realm of quantum computing, which is a whole different world.
So I don't know. I guess so he says it's expedited computation. It's only in real time because computational speed is faster now than it was 5 yeyears ago.
I think artificial
translation was already available.
Listen, artificial intelligence, I guess, would be would have started with something as simple as the calculator. You're using a computer to compute something. But what AI can do today is far greater than anything we've even come close to doing before.
So I think that's, I read this as that being John's point. If we're talking about a calculator now was artificial intelligence.
Let me ask you this.
We're casting a big net.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
People are using, because if you've ever used like ChatGPT or any of these, if you use the audio, I just type into it. I don't use the audio. But I've seen the audio used, and I've seen people using the audio, and they say if you're not talking to it, you're making a mistake. That's really the better way to utilize it. There's a story out today. People are using an increasing number of married couples are using AI as their marriage counselor. Now, that is not a computer. That is not a calculator. That is something that's able to naturally respond to you based on what you just gave it, just a question you asked. Now, it is scanning the World Wide Web all around the world very, very quickly and coming up with its own conclusion based on what it's learning on the web or based on what it's learning based on what you've told it. But the fact that it can communicate with you back and forth and come up with answers that are similar to what you might get from a marriage counselor is unbelievable. And you can't compare it to anything we've ever had before.
No, I agree.
So there,
with that.
I'm sorry, I disagree.
Well,
and by the way, yeah,
but you agreed though. You said it's not like a calculator.
I said it is, and it isn't. It does that, but in the primary stages of artificial intelligence, I guess you could say the computer, the calculator, these things were early on a version of artificial intelligence. But what it has reached today, it's responding to you like a human would respond with a natural answer. And while it may not be the right answer, I mean, you got freaking people that are like falling in love with their AI assistant. Now, I get it. These people are probably a little bit nutty, but they're having a relationship with this voice that's talking back and forth with them and giving them human-like answers. So that's different than just speedy calculations.
Right.
And I guess
we agree with it.
Yeah.
Then we totally agree.
Yeah,
I think the difference is, again, with a calculator, it's pre-programmed. So when you put in 2x3, it tells you it's 6. The difference with AI, in my understanding, is it thinks on its own. So it might, our situation...
it's not thinking on its own, but it's drawing off everything to come to that conclusion.
But
and how it gets there, I don't know. And how it gets there so quickly, I don't know.
But if you put in... the advice to you would be different than its advice to me, theoretically. That's what
based on what you teach it, if you will, what you tell it about yourself. It would be very interesting. I've never tested this. I would love to. We're getting into the weeds here, but I would love to. Like, I'll ask a question of ChatGPT, and then you have it set up on your computer, and you ask a question. Do we get the same answer? Like, what is the best ... What's the best way to do this?
Right.
I mean, you can say, I did this the other day. I'm building
We should do this experiment.
It would be interesting. I'm doing it, and we could do it in a way where it speaks, so people would hear it versus us having to read it. We should do that next week because I got to prepare for it. But the other day, I decided I need to know how much lumber I'm going to need. I'm making a tool shed. It's about 4 feet deep. I want it to be about 8 to 10 feet high. As my wife said, I think I'm going to have to get a younger husband because you're never going to be able to put the tires up that high. But I have to have a place to store things, not in the garage. So that's what we've done.
Yeah.
And I went on ChatGPT and said, this is what I want to build. What would you suggest? And it came up with 3 different options. And when I said, I think I can save a lot if I, for instance, put it up against the house and don't put a back wall on it. And it came back to say, well, if you're going to screw into the siding, that could cause a moisture problem down the road. You could have bigger problems in 5 or 10 years with rotting on the back wall of your garage. That's
interesting.
This is artificial intelligence telling me this, and I look at that and I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Okay, it's like if I'm calling my father and asking for advice on how I should build something, and he says, yeah, I wouldn't screw into that back wall. You've got that vinyl siding. It's unbelievable. And while it can make mistakes and it can be used improperly, it calculated the number of 2x4s I needed, which ones needed to be treated, which ones could be just indoor 2x4s, what kind of roof I would put on it. And, oh, by the way, it said, send me a picture of where you're going to put it. and came back and said you'll be able to get away with using 2x4s as your ceiling joists because you have a deck over top and it won't have to carry a snow load. I mean,
you see what I mean?
Pretty incredible.
It's thinking for you. It's foreseeing complications that you could have.
That's exactly right.
And things you need to be aware of.
You can't
without you programming it into a computer and saying,
because it's drawing off everything that was ever put on the web. Now, the one thing though, or anything anyone ever put into it, because it does. I think it uses. If I put something into it and it learns something, it may use that for someone else down the road. But all I'm saying is you can't rely on it totally. But if you use it in the same way that your neighbor Joe came by and said, I think you ought to do this, it'd be better, because if you don't, this is going to happen. Do you automatically do what Joe says? You don't. But you take it into consideration.
Right.
And that's how it can be used. As you can tell, I've dug into this all in on it, because I think it can help make you better, not replace your job. We'll talk more about it. You want to pipe in, feel free. Is it Kurt wants to? And I know you have some comments. Kurt, go ahead. You're on the radio.
Hey, good morning, Bill. How you guys doing this morning?
Good.
I was going to say with this AI, I mean, it's good in certain areas, but in certain areas, I think that, it's not good, because I feel like we're advancing way, way quicker than we should with certain things,
Well, I feel like it's going so fast. You're right. It's hard to keep up.
It's hard, and there's so many things that, that can go wrong, because people can take that and use it for good, and they can use it for bad. And I've seen it happen.
Well, listen, the other part is I do worry that some people are using it as their human contact. And I guess if that person would never talk to someone or never have a friend, and all of a sudden they see their Chat GPT character that they've created as their friend, I guess maybe it's good if they couldn't find someone, but it's bad if they no longer work to have human contact. That's terrible, right?
Because right now at my job, we have facial recognition now. That's how we punch in at our jobs.
Okay.
And it screens up. And I'm going. I said, we're going down a really bad area for you if it keeps going like that. But listen, we don't even do it anymore. We just facial recognition.
I saw a story yesterday that said it won't be long, and you will no longer have to bring a ticket to a concert or a game. Your face will be your ticket.
Exactly. And I'm like
facial,
I said, it's going down
same way you're going to work.
Down a bad place.
Yeah. All right. Interesting, Kurt. We appreciate it. You have a great day. And listen,
all right, hey,
try to make an ugly face or something when you walk in. See if it still recognizes you.
Hey, Bill, I got a name for you, though.
Okay.
I came up with a name. I said, Bill Keeler. I said, Bill's a bad boy Keeler.
Okay. All right, Big Kurt.
All right. Take care, guys. Have a good day.
Take care, man.
Thanks so much. That's how Davey wrote him down. It's Big Kurt. Big Kurt and the bad boy.
Fred in Clinton says, good morning, Bill, Jeff, and Davey. Bill, I think I heard you mention yesterday that June 9th was the anniversary of Secretariat winning the Belmont Stakes in 1973.
I did.
It was also the last time the Knicks won a championship, 1973.
Yes.
Okay, he says his final time of 2 minutes and 24 seconds and 31 length margin of victory are records that may never be broken. In this year's Belmont, at 1.25 miles, the final time was 2 minutes, 3 seconds, and 2 minutes, 3 seconds, and a little bit of change.
Yeah.
In 1973, Secretariat's split time at 1.25 miles was 1:59. Using the approximation of 1 second equals 5 lengths, Secretariat would have beaten this year's field by about 23 lengths.
And you think as time goes on, everything always gets better? Maybe it's tough to and there's an area where you can actually measure. Unlike with baseball, it's like, well, they use different bats today.
Yeah.
Golf, the clubs are different.
Basketball, the 80s defense was tougher. Yeah, it's not something you can measure today.
Horses are horses. Quick break. I got a break. Coming up in studio, he is running for the 118th Assembly District. Charles Potter is in studio next on WIBX.
I'm Mike Gentile, and I'm running for Assembly to bring common sense leadership back to Albany. I've spent my whole life in this community, and one thing is clear. People want leaders who show up, who listen, and deliver real results. Families across the 119th District are dealing with rising costs, higher utility bills, and real concerns about the future. They deserve someone who understands what they're going through and will fight for them every single day. Leadership that shows up, listens, and delivers. Vote for Mike Gentile for Assembly. Paid for by Gentile for Assembly.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC Chem Dry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process, inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC Chem Dry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
You love yard sales, but let's be real. You could spend all weekend driving around and still miss out on amazing finds. Over 100 vendors all in one place. Find antiques, furniture, household items, tools, brand new clothing, kids' clothes, toys, collectibles, hidden gems, and so much more. No driving all over town. Park once, shop, save, and treasure hunt all day long. The world's largest yard sale at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds, June 20th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sponsored by the Potting Shed Antiques, Clinton Tractor and Implement Company, and James Mitsubishi.
Hey, Utica and the Mohawk Valley, could you use some extra cash for summer? Do you need a new bed? Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express. Get a $300 prepaid Visa card on Simmons Beauty Rest Black King and Queen sets and Tempur-Pedic King and Queen sets. How about a $1,000 prepaid Visa card on the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort? That's the bed that gets soft and firm on each side with the touch of a button. The Flex Set option in King or Queen, and a 25-year industry-leading warranty. How would you pay for it? How about no money down with up to 5 years to pay for qualified buyers? No credit check payment plans available every day. How about a massage chair? Get a $500 prepaid Visa card on a massage chair. Stores in New Hartford on Commercial Drive, in Rome on Black River Boulevard. That's right, in Oneida and the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theater. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS.
Advantage Gold, America's #1 precious metals company, is sounding the alarm that a storm is coming and that now is the time to diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Registration is officially open for the 2026 Boilermaker Road Race. Get ready for the 49th annual running of this iconic event, Sunday, July 12th. Whether you're chasing a personal best or just soaking up the incredible energy, this is a race day event you don't want to miss. Secure your spot now and be a part of one of the most celebrated road races in the country. Sign up today and get your training underway. Be sure to listen to live coverage of the Boilermaker Road Race Sunday morning, July 12th, beginning at 7 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Hey, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients right now. It's the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients by calling 315-507-4751. Maybe it's a second opinion, but maybe you need a new primary physician, a new family doctor. Now, with Dr. Cheryl Mattern joining the team, they're able to bring new patients in. So you simply make a phone call, 315-507-4751. Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemileski, Dr. Kosminski, and Dr. Cheryl Mattern, all under one roof at the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, also, we'll tell you portions of the program brought to you by It's a Utica Thing Kitchen and Bar. Catering, if you go to their website, itsauiticathing.com, you'll see the catering menu, your graduation party coming up, or any event. The best in Italian foods, pastas, salad, chicken briggies, greens. What are they? Like fried tomatoes, fried potatoes, baked fried potatoes, roasted potatoes.
Roasted potatoes.
That's what it is. Those are really good. Tomato pie is amazing. Graduation parties or any event, they'll set up, deliver, or you can pick up. It's a Utica Thing, Kitchen and Bar, Catering at 315-738-8946 is the number. In studio right now is Charles Potter. He's a Republican candidate for the 118th Assembly District. And Charles, good morning. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for having me on the show this morning.
Tell us about you. Why should people vote for you?
Bill, I'm a Fulton County supervisor. I've been there for over 14 years. I'm running on Experience Matters, where I have continuously worked for my constituency, and I want to continue that white glove service as I travel my way, hopefully getting elected and traversing down to Albany.
Okay. What are some of the key issues that are important to you?
Yeah, so I've had a lot of the top priorities. One of them is emergency response. And I saw that the volunteer fire departments just got a win for their compensation. That's on the way to Kathy Hochul's desk to get signed. So that's great for those volunteer firemen.
Well, it's always been, I mean, in the last 10 or 15 years, more regulation, more difficulty for volunteer ambulance and fire companies.
Yes.
It's been a tough road, so they need some relief.
They do. And in Fulton County alone, we have 18 volunteer fire departments. And it's just the participation of people joining those. It's, the top-down, regulation put forth by the state is affecting their membership.
What are your thoughts on the current Robert Smullen? What are your thoughts on the job that he has done?
Right now, I'm laser focused on my race.
Okay.
We've been very heavily campaigning, going.
So you're not dipping into the Constantino versus Smullen?
No, just laser focused on my race as I traverse the district, and I'm going from Frankfort to Little Falls to Johnstown, going door to door, and I'm just laser focused on getting the win for myself on June 23rd.
All right.
And what's happening, Bill, is I'm just getting more kitchen table topics. High utility bills, high gas prices. So I'm able to actually, work with those constituents and talk about results.
How do you intend, if elected, how do you fix anything when you're in the majority? And it seems like this supermajority downstate Democratic philosophy is tough to break. How do you explain to them life up here is different?
I'm going to be in the super minority with the least seniority, and my office will probably be parking lot 3.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to realistic.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring a unique perspective. I'm going to try to partner with someone like Angelo Santa Barbara, who will probably wind up representing the eastern part of Montgomery County. I'm going to be representing the western part of Montgomery County, but hopefully working with that majority, we'll be able to deliver results like maybe a cell phone tower in Kroger Lake, which I have been campaigning on from day one.
They do a lot of big things up at Kroger Lake right now, with the shows and concerts and all sorts of. It's come a long way since the old days of Baker's Beach and what was the amusement park?
Sherman's.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the CAC, which is a Kroger Lake coalition, they just received a 5.2 grant from the state to build an amphitheater. So my cell phone is actually really right in tune with what's going on up there.
So there is a cell phone problem. As you get up into that rural area in some of those parts, you do lose cell coverage. So you'd like to see a cell tower there.
Yes, I think it's a safety issue. If the CAC had a great concert and something went awry, you need that public safety. It's also a tourism angle where that could create sales tax dollars or occupancy tax.
I could see someone saying, well, a cell tower in that beautiful area that is a part of the park, it'd be a fish out of water. It would look terrible. But there's a spot as you're heading down to New York City, as you go through Jersey, where there's this giant cell tower that has pine, like fake Christmas tree pine all over it. So there must have been an issue there where they came to a solution where we'll make the tower look like a pine tree, and that would fit up there.
Yeah, so the north part, the north side of 29 is 29A is APA country, Adirondack Park Agency.
Okay.
So I would focus on the southern part. You have Royal Mountain.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so Jake and Brooke Tennis own that, and perhaps we could work out a deal, and Verizon provides the tower, and then the other carriers can piggyback on it.
I see on your website, it's charlesforassembly.com. You talk about supporting quality education for every student. Charlie advocates for increased resources for schools, teachers, and students, preserving local control so communities can best address their unique educational needs. What type of programs or additional resources are you recommending, and how would that money be used? What are you hearing that isn't being funded by the state?
So I want to partner or create a stakeholder and start perhaps in my own town, the Gloversville School District, the Gloversville Large School District. That's Superintendent Dave Holleran, who I went to school with. And what I would like to do is, do it like a listening tour to actually get down to those unique perspective of what's happening on their side, and then bring that unique perspective down to Albany and hopefully get those results for them.
What do your district is a very large district. So
it is.
But you're from that area of Fulton County.
Yes.
So what do you say to the people of Herkimer County, and even though that small part of Oneida County that you'll be serving, who might say, well, we need someone from here that's going to represent us. And by the way, there's no one running from here.
I've had great conversations within the Republican committee. I also had great conversations with the Herkimer legislative body, and I would like to have a district office within the Herkimer County building. I want an open door policy so the constituents of the 118th are more than welcome, and we can provide that white glove service. We can do from driver's license to hunting permits, maybe inspection stickers for your automotive shops, but everything is on the table, and want to get those results.
Two things. What do you do currently? And then, let's start with that.
Yeah, so currently I'm a third-generation leather merchandiser. So I continue to sell gloves, leather gloves, deerskin gloves. I also continue to sell leather just as a wholesale merchandiser.
We talked about that, Gloversville, that whole area with the leather. Anything else that you have?
I did want to follow up. So it's not that districts have said to you, hey, we've lost funding for this, or we need to support this type of a program. You're just saying in general more funding for schools?
What I want to get a template the Gloversville and Large School District to the other school districts in the 118th. I think they all have unique scenarios that maybe are templated, but to get down to my school district where my 4.5-year-old daughter goes to preschool, and actually the pre-K program was awarded quite a bit of money in this year's budget, and that's been a great program for her. She's really excited to go to
now
school.
It'll be I believe in 2 years it'll be mandated.
Yes,
at least that it's offered, and then optional whether or not parents want to enroll their kids in preschool. Do you say you're sitting down and you're talking about the issues? Does anybody tell you that communities aren't as safe as they were because of bail reform? Is that anything that people are concerned about? Yes. And what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yesterday, Bill, I found out that I was awarded the AQ from the NRA. And that's the highest rating that you can get as a non-incumbent. I think Robert Smallin has been endorsed by NRA. So I received that news yesterday. I'm headed to the Pine Tree Rifle Club here this afternoon. And I'm big to your constitutional right to bear arms. And so as I travel the 118th, that is a big issue.
That is a big issue.
Yeah, because the governor seems to have a real, almost an all assault on the gun industry.
Yeah.
She's banning, some form of a ban on the Glocks, which we did a press release on when we found out that.
But what about bail reform?
Bail reform needs to be fixed. I talk with the Gloversville Police Department, the Herkimer County Sheriff. It's all across. It's a common thread that there needs to be bail reform for sure. And I also talked to a lot of the district attorneys throughout the 118th.
And they say that from the sheriffs to the DAs, and police agencies, they were not a part of the decision making. No one consulted them. Wouldn't that be the right way to go?
Yeah, correct. So I'm a big supporter of Sheriff Richard Giardino, our Fulton County Sheriff. He was in the running for lieutenant governor for one day, which means he's highly respected. And he'll even mention that he was not part of that discussion.
Okay. All right. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Charles Potter.
Thank you, Bill.
And
thanks for the hospitality.
Early voting. Why, did they give you food in there?
June 13th. Early voting, June 13th.
Saturday already. It's going to move pretty quickly. Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you, Bill.
Quick break, 8:43. Ryan Nobles from NBC coming up at WIBX.
Hurt in a car, call William Attar, 315-444-4444.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's Industry Ace. Our Industry Aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and will help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. Hey, you can even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines, or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Blues fans, get ready to hit the road. The New York State Blues Fest is back this June, bringing the soul, grit, and groove to the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse. Featuring Grammy-winning powerhouse Gary Clark Jr., plus a full lineup of world-class blues, rock, and roots artists. It's free, outdoors, and one of the biggest blues festivals in the Northeast. Make it a weekend. RV spots are still available. The New York State Blues Fest, Learn more at nysbluesfest.com.
Albany is broke, and Dan Fusco knows it. Highest energy costs, highest taxes, highest healthcare costs. These issues affect you and your families. And Dan knows it. With 50 years of private business experience, Dan is determined to fix Albany. Vote for someone who has long-term solutions, who will listen and work for you. Vote Dan Fusco on June 23rd.
Paid for by friends of Dan Fusco.
Hey man, thanks for coming so fast. I couldn't get anyone else to pick up.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I'm not complaining though. Business is way up lately.
Wow, good for you. I've been trying to grow my accounting practice, but it's been pretty slow.
Yeah, I was in the same boat last year. What really helped me was checking out this site, mylocalcustomers.com.
Never heard of it.
Well, most people haven't. It gives you a look at how many people in town are searching for what you do, and it also provides a plan to help them actually find you.
Like online?
Exactly. It's eye-opening, and it only takes a couple minutes to get started.
Huh, well, you fixed my sink. Maybe you just fixed my business too.
Want to know how many people in your area are searching for your type of business? Start with a local customer analysis at mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com today.
That's mylocalcustomers.com. mylocalcustomers.com.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, in accordance with Governor Hochul's new law, I guess we have to say that Billy Mays was synthetic. Is that what she's calling it? Portions of the program brought to you right now by Steve Ponte Mazda. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50, 1.9% on the CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on new 2026 Mazda CX-70s and 90s, and 0% on the FEV models. As Rick says, come on in and let's make your deal on a new Mazda. From Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville, where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. On the line right now from NBC is Ryan Nobles, who is driving with a backdrop of beautiful Maine, right?
I am. I've been all over the state in the past 24 hours, Bill. I flew into Portland yesterday, and then we made our way across the state. We went to Belfast, ended up in Blue Hills, which is where Graham Plattner, who won the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate, was born. And this might be the best time of year to be in Maine. It is absolutely gorgeous. And we've had a good, very quick trip. We're on our way back to the airport now, but it was a very good experience.
So, boy, it just amazes me that there was a time in our history when one bad thing, one wrong statement came out of your mouth. You know, one Nazi tattoo then covered by a something else that just would knock you out of the race, and not the case today.
Yeah, and you know, Bill, the thing I was most interested in coming here, and I think it's a fair criticism of those of us that cover these races on the national level. It used to frustrate me when I was a local reporter, is that we get kind of all the talking points from the consultant class in Washington, D.C., and that might give you kind of a false sense of exactly how the voters on the ground are feeling.
Yeah.
And the only thing Graham Plattner has to do is convince voters in Maine that he's past these missteps in his life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what, D.C. consultants think about it. And it was interesting what I found here. I wouldn't say that Democratic voters are just okay with it. I don't think that Democratic voters don't think that maybe he's made a lot of mistakes over the course of his life. But what I did find is a real sense from Maine voters that they do not want to be told by anyone other than people in Maine who their nominee for the United States Senate should be, and ultimately who their U.S. Senator should be. Yeah. And, you know, I talked to at least three people who were like, yeah, I'm nervous about these things. I'm nervous it's going to make it difficult for him to win in November. I'm nervous that maybe he has not gotten past all of these issues in his life. But at the same time, I like his message a lot. I like what he's honed in on is the issues that are important to us. They're important to the people in Maine. And more than anything, I think the establishment is part of the problem. And if the establishment is telling us that he's not the right candidate, then maybe that makes me think he is the right candidate. And in many ways, and I don't think Graham Plattner would appreciate being compared to Donald Trump, but the vibe is similar to what it was like when I was talking to Republican voters back in 2016 when Donald Trump was rising to the top of the Republican field. Democrats are sick of at least the base of the Democratic Party, sick of being told who their candidate should be, and they want to pick them for themselves. And I think that's what happened with Graham Plattner here last night.
Is this something that everyone knew about, his discretions? I know that his wife had gone to a campaign member and said these things might be a problem. They're going to try to use it against him. Is this stuff that the voters knew and we just learned as a national audience, or is this new to those in Maine as well? Whether it be the tattoo or the comments online, all that stuff.
So I think yes and no. So I do think the people of Maine kind of understood better than we did as national reporters and people that are observing politics at a national level about his struggles with PTSD, kind of the dark place he went to after he returned from two different war campaigns. The people in Maine who know him knew about that experience. But kind of the specificity around these scandals, the Nazi tattoo, the social media posts, the infidelity or the close to infidelity from his marriage, those were all new revelations. And in fact, if you haven't seen it, there's a viral clip of two of the campaign consultants that recruited him to run for Senate who did kind of an exhaustive background check on him. And a lot of that stuff didn't even come up in their background check. So it was surprising to the people that were supporting him. I mean, he lost a lot of campaign staff over the course of this as stuff came out. But you do get the sense that, I don't know, it's a weird thing with certain candidates. And not every candidate can do this. There's a lot of candidates who scandals rock them, they don't recover from them. But there's other candidates that kind of are fueled by the scandals. It makes their supporters rally around them in a way that not every candidate can pull off. And that's the real vibe you get here. I mean, if you had decided that you'd signed up for Graham Plattner and you were all in on him and his message, you just get angry that anybody even suggests that these scandals are a problem.
Right.
And we definitely encountered that over the past couple of days that we were here.
I don't know why, but I feel like he's somewhat unorthodox, uncomfortable at times. He reminds me a little of a Fetterman in Pennsylvania.
Well, you know what's hilarious about that is it's so funny you compare him to John Fetterman, because a lot of the people that are working for Plattner and are connected to Plattner were at one time John Fetterman campaign staff. He definitely has.
Really?
Yes. And he definitely has a similar vibe to Fetterman in this working class kind of gruff approach. And I do think that there are progressive Democrats in particular who believe that, that white working class male vote that Democrats basically just gave away to Donald Trump because they kind of doubled down on the culture war issues. That's where they feel there's fertile ground to win it back, because they feel that Donald Trump's policies have abandoned them. But the biggest difference between Plattner and Fetterman is that Plattner is very progressive in a way that Fetterman is not. And their biggest divide is Israel. Fetterman is very pro-Israel. He's angry that the Democratic Party in some respects has abandoned Israel, where Plattner is very anti-Israel. He's very angry about the war in Gaza. He calls it genocide, and also angry about the foreign intervention, which Fetterman has been largely supportive of. So there are key policy differences between the two of them. And, I also think, I've been around Fetterman a lot. The difference for me in my exposure to Fetterman versus my exposure to Plattner is that I never really covered Fetterman pre-stroke. And I think he was a different candidate, a different person pre-stroke. And so, for obvious reasons, Plattner is is a much more eloquent speaker right now. His speech last night was very impressive. He is a very gifted public speaker and has kind of that political riz, that you can't teach in a way that Fetterman doesn't. And the other thing is that Fetterman is like hammers Plattner all the time. He does not like Plattner. So it's kind of a funny comparison between the two of them because there are a lot of similarities, but they're very different people.
And then switching from there, there's going to be we begin early voting here on Saturday, and the 23rd is our primary vote, and the big race. There's just a ton of money being spent by the Trump endorsed candidate, Anthony Constantino, who is extremely unorthodox, against the Marine Colonel, current Assemblyman Robert Smullen. Boy, that is, I don't know if the rest of the country is looking at this race, but man, it's a big one here.
Yeah, I don't think it's gotten the same level of national attention because I still think most people view that race as a pretty safe Republican seat, no matter who wins, even if it is Constantino. But it's an interesting dynamic, Bill. And we were talking about Trump back in 2016 being the anti-establishment candidate. In 2026, Donald Trump is the establishment, right? I mean, if you are getting the support of the MAGA wing of the party, you're getting the support of the core of the Republican Party, and the infrastructure, the money, the kind of organization, all is funneled through Washington D.C. now in Donald Trump's political arm. So I don't know if that resonates with voters quite yet. I don't know if voters understand it on that level, but it's now the anti-establishment is the establishment in some ways because Donald Trump's completely taken over the party. It's kind of a different dynamic.
And I think this is going to be a very interesting race here because the two Democrats seem to be more unorthodox, more of the you've got a farmer and a restaurant owner. So they both seem to be, although I haven't had the restaurant owner on, the farmer, Gendabine, we've had on, and he seems logical. He seems like you could easily close your eyes and picture him a Republican, a moderate Republican. So that's going to be very interesting, especially if Constantino, who's so polarized and so in fact, his answers are always, I will do whatever Trump does. I will follow his policy. So I think if Constantino wins, it's going to be very, very interesting. But it could go either way. This is at least for us, it's an interesting one. So,
I mean, it's a risky gambit when the president's approval rating is in the 30s.
Yeah, it is.
And it's probably a little bit better in that district, but it's still not great.
Ryan, as always, we appreciate it. We'll be watching. Safe travels, and we'll talk again next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Ryan Nobles with NBC. Back here tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Killmeat is next.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
A finger on the trigger. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump tells Fox he may order strikes on Iranian infrastructure targets, accusing Iran of stalling on peace talks. Airstrikes hit radar and air defense sites in Iran after the downing of a U.S. Army helicopter by an Iranian drone. Fox's Trey Yangst in Tel Aviv, Israel.
President Trump tells Fox News that the Iranian drone lodged in between the two pilots in this helicopter. They were flying very low. And so these pilots were trying to take down the helicopter with the drone lodged into this gunship without it exploding. President Trump told me that he is getting close to ordering new strikes against Iranian power plants and bridges.
Iran's military targeted America.